We are going to be talking about the McGuire programme, and Laura will explain that to you when she comes on. So it'll be just after 4:15. And I've got a couple of songs I'm going to play for that, and the first one is by Maroon 5. Now, Maroon 5, one of Laura's favourite band, and I have to say, for me, the best album they ever done was Songs About Jane. So this is This Love for the lovely Laura Logan, who is coming to talk about the McGuire programme. And she has done this before, but not here at Lionheart Radio. That's all I say. I'm not here to build up any other radio station. And after give you a bit of background, she is very much into horses, a very confident young lady, great fun to work with because it's nearly always Friday, especially on a Monday. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is Laura. I know you can't see, but she's on my right hand side, which is obviously opposite my left. So Laura,
cheers, Simon.
You're going to talk about the McGuire programme.
I am,
and what it is.
So, the McGuire programme helps people who have a stammer or a stutter. So, I've had a stammer my whole life.
Yeah.
I only realised that I had one when I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. Before that, I was happily reading aloud in school, and I would always volunteer, lead roles in school plays, and nothing really held me back at all. But I think I noticed when I was about 7 years old, I went up to tell the teacher something really exciting, and I just couldn't get any words out, and I just blocked. And I was there
was
for
there
ages.
nervousness there? Can you remember that?
I wasn't nervous when I was actually approaching the teacher. It was more so later on when everyone laughed at me.
Yeah.
Just kids being kids, not meaning it in a nasty way.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just was always a bit more hesitant about talking to people, and I wonder whether that's maybe where it came from.
Yeah. Maybe you're that confident. I mean, what I find, obviously in the current climate now, it's brilliant what you do now. And I said you've done this before. You've come to Lionheart, so there's people in the local area can hear what you're talking about. The long-term effect that had on you as a person, and your confidence.
Oh, well, it was huge. It literally defined everything. So from the age of 7, which is always quite a tender age anyways, I was really withdrawn, and the older that I got, with every lesson that came around, having to read aloud, and it was just an absolute car crash. People would mock me, laugh at me, and as much as I would want to try and avoid reading aloud, I was always made to. And what was then happening in the end was then I was just sitting there not able to actually get any sound out at all, and that just got worse and worse. I then hated school, hated education, really lost a lot of confidence in people, and it just ends up making you really dislike yourself.
Well, that's wrong though, because you've said school, so you've went from junior school to secondary school, where I imagine that's all started again.
Yeah, 100%. So moving up to high school, so that was a huge transition in itself. It was always hard making friends. I didn't really want to put myself out there, just in the worry of getting rejected by people, because I was really different, because I couldn't speak fluently. And a few years on, after joining the McGuire programme just over 4 years ago, my whole life has completely transformed. And I'm now this really bubbly person.
Who doesn't shut up when it's nearly Friday. Another favourite of Laura's there, that is Top Laura Dancing in the I'll put you on there, Laura, I forgot. So the next bit is the speaking in public.
Yeah.
And that for me proves one thing, that you've come a long, long way in a short time, and we'll just say you've got techniques that help you through times where you feel that something's actually coming on. Is that right?
100%.
Educate me, please.
So, the McGuire programme, we've got lots of different tools and techniques that help us to keep control of our stammer, one of which being costal breathing. So I won't be breathing like you. Now that sounds mad, Simon, but let me explain. So I breathe with my costal diaphragm, whereas you will be breathing through your crural diaphragm. So mine is what opera singers use. Ah.
I'm not going to go there. We've just put new windows in behind us. Yeah.
It's all about being more confident, more assertive, and not running away anymore,
Yeah.
not avoiding,
Not hiding.
not hiding. It's just actually assertively accepting who you are, that you are a person who has a stammer that'll never ever go away, but you have to be able to control it.
You manage it very well. There was something on about Gareth Gates. Now,
Yeah.
Gareth Gates got really badly bullied at school. And for me, I suppose people can say that's kids, but we've got to educate our kids to accept people. It's not that we're not normal, it's just we have something that we have to try and learn to cope with
Yeah.
and use a strategy to I suppose, get through it.
Yeah.
You've done it. And you've done extremely well. I never said bloody well, but you know, oh, sorry.
Well,
So you've done public speaking.
yeah.
And I've seen your videos on what do you call it? Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook, what do you call it? Yeah. And it looks really good.
So a part of the programme is we do intensive courses, and we usually do them over 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
And the most latest one in Newcastle that was just held the 1st to the 4th of November, I was the course organiser.
Yeah.
And what happens is on the Saturday, after our new students and our returning graduates who keep on coming back to every course to just hone in on those all-important techniques and rebuild up their confidence, is we all do public speaking. So 2 weeks last Saturday in Northumberland Street, over 100 of us, everyone who has a stammer, because the McGuire programme is ran wholly by people who have a stammer, which is what makes it extra special. And we're just saying, hello Newcastle, we've got a stammer. And this is what we've all been doing over the last week. And we had 12 new students who joined our programme. There was 3 local people, which is exciting. Obviously, I won't name them.
Yeah.
GDPR and all that, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just absolutely incredible. And what a thrill. Even more than this.
Hey, I didn't even peer. In the UK, how many people with speech impediments or stammers or whatever, roughly?
Roughly. I wouldn't know the rough number.
I'll put you on the
You
spot there.
have.
Yeah.
Hey, I nearly stammered, but it's usually about 1 in 100 people
Right.
have a stammer, and it's usually more predominant in males. But yeah, 1 in 100 people. So I would probably guarantee that almost every single listener here will know at least one person who has a stutter or a stammer.
Cool plate. Right, Laura has given me a test here, and I've got to do that. And I have to say, I don't think I'm going to do the second part very well. And this is basically to get me to understand how people cope with having a stammer. So this here it goes. Many people who stammer live happy and successful lives. Did you know that many famous people stammer or stammered when they were younger? They include Emily Blunt, Ed Sheeran, Bruce Willis, Joe Biden, Rowan Atkinson, Samuel L. Jackson, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and Charles Darwin stammer too.
So now when you read it out, I've put into brackets certain sounds which Simon may find difficult, and he has to be able to work out a way around them or avoiding them, like I used to when I was out of control with my stammer. You go, Simon.
Many persons who struggle to live happy and meaningful lives. Did you know that many famous artists struggle or
See, it's hard, isn't
very
it?
hard?
So what's happened here, guys, is I have put the exact same paragraph in again, but I've just told Simon that P's and S sounds are very, very difficult and that he's not able to say them. So as he's reading aloud, he's looking ahead and working out, can he say it? Can he avoid, substitute for something else. And see, it's incredibly difficult.
It is.
Very difficult.
It is. I didn't even get halfway down at all.
There you go. You see, that was a good challenge for you on a Thursday.
Failed it miserably. So the next the next part of this is you've gone through, obviously, your formative years at primary school. You've gone to secondary school. Then you went to college.
Yeah.
And how did that affect you going to college? Because for me, it's a big step at 16, 18.
Yeah, 18.
Leaving home, because I know what it was like leaving my daughter, taking her to Stoke. And she was 18 for me. So how did you cope with that at university?
It was incredibly difficult, and on reflection, I was so low mentally and really, really unhappy with who I was as a person, just because I had a stammer. And throughout university, it just got worse and worse. So there was obviously a lot of presentations. I had a covert stammer, which means that I could hide it pretty well. So I would swap words or sounds, or I would just avoid. So I would never ever answer the telephone, which you now know I always do in work.
Yeah.
But years and years ago, I would avoid all speaking situations. But that was really, really difficult in university. Obviously, I was living away from home, I had all of those utilities, and even just ringing up and like organising electric was an absolute nightmare.
The very talented Roland Logan. Hey, should have been a Cheshire Cat. And do you know what? It's great fun because I haven't interviewed anybody for quite a long time, and it's always nice when someone comes on that is talking about something that not just benefits you, which we've just said, but it's going to benefit other people. And your next trip is down the country, isn't it?
Yes, so our next intensive course is going to be held in Bristol, so I'll be making that journey down there next early March, I think it is, to work on my speech, but also to help other people with theirs. And we all return course on course, year on year, to keep working with it. And we also run local support groups. So our local support group that's held once a month is in Newcastle.